Hello there and a very good afternoon to you. Welcome back to News Desk here on KTN News. Glad you could join us this afternoon. So let's continue with the news here. And civil society groups under the umbrella of the National Integrity Alliance have this morning launched the Red Card campaign. They say their campaign, which targets corrupt aspirants, has been necessitated by the inaction by oversight institutions and political parties. Let's talk more about this. And joining us from our city center studios is Irungu Houghton, who's Associate Director at Society for International Development. Thank you so much, Irungu, for making time for News Desk. Please explain to us how this exactly works, giving a red card to what you describe as corrupt politicians.
Hi, Sophia and viewers. It's a very simple campaign. It gives the power to citizens and to political parties and to the vetting institutions to creatively focus the national attention on the Chapter 6 within our Constitution as the ethical standard for which the tens of thousands of aspirants that are currently running for primary party elections will be able to stand. As we know, about 69 political parties have been cleared to run in the next elections. That is probably tens of thousands of candidates who are running at the national level, at the county level. And one of the things we have been saying is that no candidate should be cleared by a political party or should be elected by a voter and sworn into office if they have their hands dirty, either from corruption, unethical behavior, divisive or discriminatory practices. And it's a very simple argument that we're making. If you have been named in the reports of the independent offices or the constitutional commissions, or you have been named by the presidential State of the Nation address in 2015, or you have been prosecuted or investigated and have not yet been cleared or acquitted from charges, you have no business running for public office, either at the county level or at the national level. And we're calling on political parties, and we will be visiting in the next 30 days to essentially bar any of their aspirants from standing. Over the next 90 days, we will be calling on the electorate not to proceed to vote for candidates that have their hands dirty.
Irungu, talking about those that have their hands dirty, of course, there's lots of allegations flying around. As you said, there are those that have been named. But for those who ask, isn't it unfair to say that if you've been named and, you've not gone through due process, you have not been found guilty, that you cannot run? Isn't that unfair? Because then you're already indicting this person based on just allegations.
I think we have to be careful. In fact, the very basis of this campaign emerges from a range of accusations and counter-accusations that are being made either within the political parties or by citizens themselves. And we have to be careful that we're not witch-hunting candidates. But there are candidates that have come forward for the primaries that are currently undergoing investigation, or they are being prosecuted, or they have cases. In some cases, there are people who have been acquitted but are out on appeal, and they still seek to represent us and to handle taxpayers' monies. And I think what we have to say is that the criminal standard for Chapter 6 is insufficient to deal with essentially what is an ethical standard. If you have not, if you have been adversely named within the reports of the Auditor General or the Commission, the Kenya National Commission for Human Rights, that is sufficient for the electorate to think twice about electing you or even having you being nominated by the political parties. We have many cases of very dubious characters that have gone forward. We are also seeking legal interpretation and we'll be asking the Chapter 6 working group initiated by the Attorney General to establish very clearly what are the standards for which people can run, and let those standards be applied without partisanship across the political parties, so that we have a standard that is not simply used as a way of settling scores within the parties, but also as a way of ensuring one of the parties has a superior edge in the coming elections.
All right. Many thanks, Irungu Houghton, Associate Director, Society for International Development, with us there from our city center studios. We thank you for making time for News Desk here on KTN News.